Next, Mary Backstage, Noble Wife. The story of America's favorite family of the Footlights and their fight for security and happiness against the concrete heart of Broadway. Rehearsal time for Westchester Furioso at the Town Hall in Meredith, New Hampshire. And on stage, Mary and Harry are about to run through the ping pong scene from Act Two. As we hear them say...
Okay, Cash, let's take it from the top, this scene. This is the famous ping pong scene now.
It's a scene between Margaret and Russell, isn't it, Greg?
That's right. I'm all set.
This is all coming back to me better than I thought.
It's funny, isn't it? Once you've committed something to memory this way, just to walk through brings it all back to you.
Yes, that's right. And it gives you a feeling of security to know that you do remember the lines. It's been quite a while since we played this part.
But we're such pros, though, even if we do forget a line or a hesitation, we can cover it beautifully.
We can ad-lib, throw in a line, make a line up that'll fit the scene.
Look, would you cool it on the ad-libbing? Because the last time you did that, it threw everybody off.
I know what you mean.
The effects man, the stage manager, the fella running the curtain, he didn't know what to do.
Right, Greg.
See, what happened was you started ad-lib and then went on 10, 15 minutes, and everybody was totally confused. The musical director quit, you recall.
Yes, I do remember.
If you could bear in mind, cool the ad-libbing and stick to the script.
We doing any of the musical numbers today, Mr. Barlow?
Maybe a little bit we will, yeah.
Well, I'll have to go back to the new Meredith house and get my tap shoes then.
All right, whatever you...
I'll be back in...
Okay, Mary and Harry, let's have it from the top now in the ping pong scene.
Right, Greg. Margaret?
Yes.
Your ping pong playing seems better than ever.
You're playing so furioso lately.
Particularly here in Westchester.
Yeah.
There are many ways to attack a ping pong game.
You're putting a little English on those shots, aren't you?
Just a little bit, my dear.
kind of a weird chop. Now, where did that ping... Oh, that's not in the script. Where'd the ping pong go?
It went over there, over under the chair. I'll get it.
All right, fine.
Sorry, Greg.
It's okay. Cut out the ad-libbing, though. Stick to the script.
Well, Mary was just commenting on the fact that the ping pong ball went off the edge of the table.
Well, if that happens in the show, just don't say where the ball goes. Just go
All
get
right.
it. You understand?
Sure, we'll pick it up right here. Yes, and your serves seem better than ever, too.
I'm putting a little English on my serves now. Have you noticed?
What's that line again, Greg?
Just want to say, what did you say?
What did you say?
I'm putting a little English on my serves now. Did you notice?
Where'd the ball go? Oh, here it is.
God,
Wait.
I don't think you know your part, Harry.
Well, let me have the book. We just run over a little bit here.
Yeah.
Oh. What's that, Mary?
I didn't say anything.
Calvin, is that you?
No, it's not me. I'm just sitting here working a crossword puzzle in the dimly lit backstage.
Greg? Do you hear what we hear up here?
What is that? Is that some kind of a joke?
Well, it's certainly not in the show.
Hey, Peavy?
Yeah, howdy, bud.
Peavy, come here.
Yeah.
We're just going through a run-through of Westchester. Can you tell me what's all this we're hearing?
What's that? What do you mean?
Well, it sounds like ghosts if I...
Oh, they've come back. You heard them.
Heard what?
I don't hear anything now.
I don't either, but just a few moments ago, we definitely heard ghosts, or something that sounded like ghosts.
Well, if you heard that, they're back. It's the Meredith Jinx. And so Mr. Peavy, the janitor at the town hall, mentions the Meredith Jinx. What is it? What effect will it have on Westchester Furioso? Be sure to listen on Monday when we'll hear Greg Marlowe say,
That's funny, you hit that ping pong ball and it just disappeared.
That's Monday in the next exciting episode of Mary Backstage, Noble Wife. Word Carr speaking.
We invite you to spend another educational session with the idol of the nation's youngsters, Mr. Science. As we look in on the modern, well-equipped laboratory today, we see that little Jimmy Schwab is just arriving to watch Mr. Science perform his latest fascinating experiment.
Well, hello there, Jimmy.
you're right on time, as usual, to watch me perform my latest fascinating experiment.
I always make it a point to be punctual when I know you're going to perform a fascinating experiment, Mr. Science. What wondrous thing have you chosen for today?
Well, Jimmy, today we're going to demonstrate how the rays of the sun can be utilized to start a bonfire.
Leap and lizards, Mr. Science. I'll bet we have get a lot closer to the sun to do that. How are we going to fly up there?
Well, you don't have to fly up to the sun to do it, Jimmy.
Holy mackerel, Mr. Science. You mean you're going to bring the sun down here?
No, son, we're going to do it with the aid of this ordinary magnifying glass.
Boy, oh boy. That's just like the magnifying glass my grandpa Schwab uses to read the newspaper. But he never started a fire with it. He lets his cigar ashes drop between the sofa cushions to do that.
Well, it's necessary to capture the rays of the sun in a certain way to create fire, Jimmy. You'll learn the scientific principle from today's experiment. Now, first, you'll notice that we brought the ingredients we need for starting our fire over here by the laboratory window. Now, that's to make the sun's rays readily available.
Great suffering catfish, Mr. Science. What's that ingredient you've piled up there on the laboratory workbench?
That's called straw, Jimmy.
Straw? Wowie, wowie, zingo. Wait till I tell the gang at school I've seen some of that.
Yes, well, I'm sure this is opening up a whole new world for you, son.
Oh, gosh, I'm awestruck with childish amazement.
Well, the most exciting part is yet to come. Now, watch how I hold the magnifying glass so that it directs all the sunlight onto one small area of our straw pile.
Boy, oh boy, holding it that way likewise makes the straw look much larger when viewed through the glass.
Well, that's true, Jimmy, but that's not the point of this particular experiment.
Well, holy Ned, Mr. Science, I don't see any other point. The straw is just lying there looking bigger than it did before.
Well, observe more closely, Jimmy. You see the smoke starting to rise from that spot where the sun's rays are concentrated?
Oh, golly, two shoes. I sure do, Mr. Science. And now the scientific element we've learned to call fire is breaking through the smoke. Boy, oh boy, my eyes have never beheld such powerful magic.
Well, it's not magic at all, Jimmy. We've simply taken the rays of the sun, which normally fall over a wide area, and directed all of their intensity into one small point. Now I'll go get some water to put out the flames before they can cause any damage to my laboratory.
While you do that, I'll perform another experiment with the magnifying glass here. I want to see what happens when we direct the rays of the sun onto the stuff in this test tube.
Oh, no, don't do that, Jimmy. That's a highly volatile fluid there. Put the magnifier away, son.
Gee, I don't know what volatile means, but I only want to set it on fire a little to prove that... This session with Mr. Science was brought to you as a public service, paid for by the Philanthropic Council to make things nicer. Today's broadcast was the last in our current series.
And now, once again, around the corner and up your block, comes the friendly poet-philosopher Charles to reach once again into his tattered, dusty manuscripts and bring forth the poem of romance, adventure, or hope. Charles?
I had a dream the other night when all the world was still. I dreamt I saw a graceful gull there high above the hill.
Well, that was lovely, homely village poet, but now a brief message for stomach sufferers.
Well, wait just a minute. That wasn't the end of the poem.
Charles, I'm sure our listeners capture the mood with you.
Yeah, but there's 3 more stanzas about this gull flying around.
Well, I'm sorry, but we do have to get the commercial message in. Now, will you just pause a minute and read over your next poem while I'm doing this?
All right, but I haven't gotten to the best part yet.
Friends, do you spend sleepless nights in agony? If so, then here's wonderful news about a great new product that brings speedy, blessed relief. New improved 6-way gas pills, specifically designed to free you from the miseries of overindulgence. Only 5 cents a roll, 3 rolls for a quarter. Get some today. And now, once again, here's Charles, your friendly poet-philosopher.
I can't forget the rolling sea and the crashing tide and the foam. The mountainous waves are a part of me, and the deck of a ship is my home.
Friends,
Do you know that athlete's foot can cripple you?
Oh, come on. Now, wait a minute. I'm not even close to being finished
Well,
with
I'm
this.
sorry, but we've sold these spots and we have to do them. Prang's Toe Ointment is spending a lot of money on you, Charles.
Well, look, I'm the artistic type. I'm getting pretty burned up about
Well,
this. I
that's-
mean, I get in the mood for Poe, and you
Uh-huh.
lay on athlete's
That's
foot.
commercial radio for you. Now, if you'll just to be quiet.
I saw Rod McCune on the Today Show, and they let him finish.
Neighbors, don't let unsightly, peeling, scabby feet rob you of health and happiness. Now, athlete's foot is curable without a doctor's prescription.
Brother.
Ask your druggist about Prang's Toe Ointment.
Oh.
Just state your shoe size, and he'll recommend the tube to fit your needs. And now, once again, here's Charles.
Listen, I don't think I can go on. I'm still pretty
Let's
peaked.
control
I'm out of the mood.
ourselves, Charles. We have a job to do here, you know.
And look, stop calling me homely, too. Some women find me quite attractive.
Well, I just use that as homely poet-philosopher. No offense intended. Go ahead, Charles.
My loved one is an angel true, all dressed in snowy white. She comes to me mid-morning dew, in the last great touch of night. My loved one is blossom fair.
Neighbors, are you bothered with long, unsightly hair growing out of your ears?
Oh, hey, wait a minute. This is going too
Why not
far.
try
Hey,
the
what
new
is this?
Miracle Gaylord ear cream.
Oh, come
Just
on.
a few drops stuffed in with a toothpick is guaranteed to kill every living thing.
Oh, brother.
Don't let your friends call you shaggy ears. Try Gaylords
I
today.
wish I could find some product to stuff in your mouth.
Now, until next time, your friendly, homely poet-philosopher Charles says...
Take a long walk off of Brook Hill.
Next, Mary Backstage, Noble Wife. The story of America's favorite family of the Footlights and of their fight for security and happiness against the concrete heart of Broadway. The Meredith Jinx. That's what the janitor, Wallace Peavy, calls the strange sounds that came out of the darkness at the little New Hampshire town hall as Mary, Harry, Pop, and Calvin were rehearsing scenes for Westchester Furioso. Now, minutes after our last episode, we hear Greg Marlowe say,
Okay, that looked pretty good. Now I think if we could get the cast on Pop, we want to do your dance routine.
"Okay, Mr. Marlowe."
And then we want to have the second act finale with all the girls, the singers, and in your hat number.
Right. What do you think about that jinx, Greg? You think it's going to hurt the show at all?
Well, I don't believe in any ghosts or spooks or jinx, do you?
Well, they were ghostly sounds that we heard.
If they were ghostly sounds, it's somebody up there in the third balcony who's trying to say.
They heard it again.
Sure, well, it doesn't bother me, not one bit.
Where's Mary?
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 Larry,
Mary?
Mary?
Maybe she went over to the coffee shop across the street.
Well, I hope so.
No, I mean, go ahead and scream again, Ghost. You got us petrified down here.
See how frightened we are? What do you suppose Mary is?
She probably went across the street. Mary?
I didn't see her leave the theater. It's so dark out there, you can't see anything.
Mary?
Well, why don't we go ahead with rehearsal and maybe she'll show up.
Okay. All right, Pop, on stage for that big dance number.
Little bit.
How's it look, Miss Marlowe?
Great, great. Keep smiling, though.
Right. Hair flops down in my eyes. Gotta get something to take care of that.
Oh!
Great, great. The ghost must like it, too.
Yeah, that could be the janitor on the other hand.
I'm going to get the police and have them check this out. This is nonsense.
All right, you want to bring the girls out and have them
Girls,
start the
on
number?
stage, please, for the big second act finale. If you would, please. Okay, Maestro, hit it. Smile, girls. That's it.
Boy, it's good to hear that music again.
In your hat by Lily Taché, and your gown by Schiaparelli. You're as pretty as an rhinestone in your hat.
Just go ahead, girls. Don't let it bother you.
And when you're passing by, how could any mortal such as I from sighing.
Isn't she lovely?
Don't I adore the way her gorgeousness has thrilled me to the core?
She is so lovely
and so divine, I'd swim the path of Off Canal to make her mine.
Greg, I don't know what to make of those noises. There's something going on here that we'd better check out.
Oh, it's some crank up on the balcony. I'll call the cops. I'll get them out of here by
Probably some
showtime.
of the town kids that just
Boy.
try to raise trouble with the
Meredith Jinx. I buy that. Oh. Smile. Keep smiling, girls.
You're an invitation to a fond caress, and when you pass my way,
Keep smiling, girls. Don't let it bother you.
Greg, I'm going out and look for Mary. I'm afraid she's missing. And so Harry expresses concern for Mary. But is she really at the coffee shop across the street? And what of the Jinx in Meredith, New Hampshire? Be sure and join us tomorrow when we'll hear Calvin say,
She wasn't there, huh?
that's tomorrow in the next exciting episode of Mary Backstage Noble Wife. Word Carr speaking.